Good morning, good morning. Welcoming myself back here. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We have a new backdrop, as you have noticed. I made sure to let you guys know after my absence for about a week. I'm in a new place. We've moved. So if you notice anything different, that's what's different. I'm happy to be back. Let's go ahead and restoke the fire, get the engine warm. We're going to go ahead and get back into our studies, making some good headway on First Chronicles where we left off. Each new line I read, each new chapter I read, there's names that needed to be added to the sheet. So I'm working on that, and I'm working on getting that cohesive and presented to you guys in finality. We just got to make sure that everybody is added. I'm leaving nobody out in First Chronicles. Every name that's listed is there. So it's just taking a little bit more time than usual. Plus, I did have to get a little bit of relaxation and rest in before we get started. But let's go ahead and do a daily message. Why not? That is what we'll have the time for this morning. So let's go ahead and begin here. We have our wonderful book from the Qur'an, correct? In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Right. Okay. Oh, wonderful. Okay. Surah 28, line 76. You see a little fuzzy tail. Let's go ahead and notate this down. Surah 28, line 26. And this is from Al-Qasas. Surah Al-Qasas, which is the narrations. The narrations. And it's talking about a people or an individual named Qarun. It says, Qarun was doubtless of the people of Moses, but he acted insolently towards them. Such were the treasures we had bestowed on him, that was their very keys, would have been a burden to a body of strong men. Behold, his people said to him, Exult not, for Allah loveth not those who exult in riches. All right. Interesting line. We haven't read much from this Surah, at least I don't think. This narrative, this section is not sticking out to me like it normally does, if I'm being quite honest. But let's go ahead and put this down. We'll just take a few minutes of quiet while I write down this line that's a little bit longer here. And I'm sorry, I said line 26, it's 76. I had misspoken. All right. Just allow me just a few seconds here to take a look, see if I can give you a little bit more context. Okay. Release it to like, oh, that we have like with Qur'an stuff. Okay, something I had to clarify here. This word, Qur'an, right? It sounds like Qur'an, Qur'an, but it is Qur'an, and it's actually, I was thinking, it's not in the Bible. We don't know who this individual is. It's a name, right? It's an individual, and he was related to Moses, in the sense, he was either actually blood related, but he's also known as Korah in the Bible. Okay, and he was a wealthy man. He was a wealthy man, and he was an antagonist of Moses. This is just what I'm reading here from Google. And apparently he held a key, right? It says here he held a key that enabled him to obtain great riches in the economy. So he was antagonizing Moses, although he was sided with them, although this individual believed Moses and the people and the story of the Israelites. Because the Israelites had so little, because they had nothing, they were in the desert for many, many years, leaving Egypt, going into a new place, being a transplant in a new place. Because these people had so little, had nothing, he started to antagonize them. He started to act insolently, to show off. The people, in fact, became jealous of Qarun, became a little bit jealous, and they wished and they longed for the riches that Qarun had. And that's how he caused issues in the hearts of the people of Moses, because there was the coveting, right? The thing that is forbidden in the Bible, right? In the Old Testament, in the Ten Commandments, do not cover that which your neighbor has, right? So he was causing that to stir within the people's hearts, that nature of covetousness, what have you, right? Coveting behavior. Says here, such were the treasures we had bestowed upon him, that their very keys would have been a burden to a body of strong men. So having these keys to wealth, having these keys to the economy like Qur'an had, it would have been a burden to strong men. Imagine if you have all three things. Imagine if you have not only wealth, but power, wisdom, strength, right? Of course, some things lead to another. If you have wealth, you so often have power. But if you're really, really strong in the mind and in the heart, and you have these keys to essentially an unlimited economy, what kind of burden would that weigh upon somebody who's really strong in heart? When I say strong, too, pure in heart, right? Chosen, that type of behavior. You're strong in the mind, body, and the soul. If you're given these treasures, if you're given these keys, how much would that weigh on you? So it says here, behold, his people said to him, behold, his people said to him. So this is the people of Moses coming back at the insolent behavior, right, from Qarun or Korah. Coming back at the insolent behavior, although some of them may have faltered, although some of them were swayed and they had this feeling of coveting in their heart, they said back to him regardless, exult not, for Allah loveth not those who exult in riches. Okay, and looking up the definition here of exult. This is the final piece here, thinking about the burdens of keys to the economy, right? It means feel or show triumphant elation or jubilation. Okay? So these blessings will come, right? These keys will come. These paths to success will come. But there's no need to feel or show this triumphant elation, to go ahead and boast outwardly, I guess is an example, right? To go ahead and boast outwardly. But really it starts internally. It starts on the inside. To be so exuberant that it just bubbles up and it overflows, this triumphant elation, right? Or jubilation or celebration. Okay? So I know it's a very, very common thing today to go ahead and celebrate our wins, to celebrate our successes. You get a promotion at work, you want to go out and party and have a good time. You have a big celebration like with marriage and stuff. That's a little bit normal. That's okay, that's normal. But to feel and show this triumphant elation when given these burdensome keys of success, burdensome keys of knowledge. And it says here very, very clear, Allah loveth not those who exult in riches. In parentheses, it does say in riches. So if it is something that shows a success that's going to lead to paths of riches, don't show this triumphant elation or jubilation. I know it's very counterintuitive because we are a nation of many nations, I should say. All around the world we celebrate our successes. All around the world we celebrate and we have good times, and we like to show our joy and our excitement for certain things. And it's normal and it's natural. But in the very rare case of this narrative here in section 8, this is what it's saying, okay? Because it can cause this insolence. And because this individual who had these keys of success acted insolently, the people came back at him with the exult not behavior because of his insolence. And I'll read the line after here just to give you a little bit more. But seek with the wealth which Allah has bestowed on thee, the home of the hereafter. Nor forget thy portion in this world, but do thou good, as Allah has been good to thee, and seek not occasions for mischief in the land, for Allah loveth not those who do mischief. Okay? So it says here, it's okay to have wealth, it's okay to have these keys to success, but it's what you use those keys for, right? Seek the kingdom with these keys. And then it says also, do not forget the portion of this world. Do not forget that you were bestowed these graces and these wealths and these successes in this world. And use that as motivation to do good, to make your experience even better to all those around you as well. You know, just overflow it in a positive way versus the elation, I guess, the exulting. So that's what this says here. I'm just going to leave it here. Very interesting to go ahead and get started. Thank you guys for listening. I'm going to go ahead and start up my day a little bit further, and I will be back on to share more surprises and more treats with you. All right. Goodbye. Thank you. Have a good day.